You ever ask yourself, am I the narcissist? If you're asking yourself this question, more than likely the answer is no. Narcissists are highly unlikely to engage in self-reflection. A narcissist would rather justify and rationalize their behavior. Chances are you've simply been bitten by fleas. And I'm not talking about those pesky little things that you find on a dog. Fleas are the bad behavior patterns and habits that we've picked up from being exposed to a narcissist who's had unhealthy control over us. Many of us display these behaviors as a defense mechanism or as a way to give the narcissist a taste of their own medicine. They are pain, guilt, and crazy patterns that we take on in order to just survive. The good news is they are completely unlearnable. The true origination of the word fleas comes from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good behavior. Another adage comes from a Benjamin Franklin quote, he that lieth down with dogs shall rise up with fleas. Wikipedia states this as a universal agreed meaning of you should be cautious of the company that you keep. Associating with those of low reputation may not only lower your own, but also lead you astray by the faults of assumptions, premises, and data of the unscrupulous. So what does it feel like to have fleas? Well, you may be very defensive, have a short temper. You may think about yourself more than normal people do. You may have a hard time taking criticism. These can be simply symptoms of growing up in a narcissistic home or being exposed to a narcissist for a long period of time. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're doomed to become a narcissist. Many traits that we pick up are very normal reactions to growing up in an abusive environment. If you've spent a big portion of your life being constantly attacked, it's no surprise if you turn out a little defensive and may struggle with even the gentlest of criticisms. If you've been living with or have been raised by a narcissist, chances are you've been living with three dreadful companions: hopelessness, helplessness, and powerlessness. Like an animal forced into a corner, it's quite common to have the instinct to fight your way out of it. Anger is a feeling that comes instinctively when we aren't getting what we deserve. When we feel angry, our bodies produce adrenaline, our breathing and heart rate increase, and our ability to think objectively and perform maintenance tasks is reduced, and our bodies instinctively divert resources of our fight or flight mechanisms. We become a tightly wound spring. However, most of us are more accustomed to keeping the peace, more than being aggressors. Most of us are not comfortable or accomplished in winning arguments or fights. We'll often back down or feel remorse after lashing out. We may begin to compare our behavior to that of the narcissist and wonder if we are the ones with the problem. It's common to begin to question if you are the narcissist. It's also common to greatly fear retribution after an angry outburst and engage in a manipulative campaign similar to that of hoovering to try to deflect the consequences of the payback. So some examples of flea behavior is becoming violent towards an abusive person or towards their property when they're not around. Or it's engaging in name-calling, shouting, or slander. If you're worried that you may hurt people with your behavior, you're showing a lot of empathy, something that a narcissist isn't capable of. If you're willing to see your mistakes and see where you can improve, you're showing a lot of insight into yourself, another trait that a narcissist lacks. Not everybody is a narcissist, but we have to learn to control our fleas around people who may trigger us. If you're concerned about the way that you've reacted and have remorse for those actions, it's likely that you're not a narcissist. You just need a good flea bath. And you can get one by working on those behaviors and giving yourself a flea bath by changing the way that you respond or react to certain things. So if you're worried that you're a narcissist, chances are, if you're asking yourself that question, you just really need a good flea bath.